we'll see what we can see when we get there, etc. And we'll throw on a hat, and that should be enough. So here we go. We'll go this way. We got the grandson over, and it's been hell. Help. Get me out of this. I'm too old for this. Now you gotta see here, huh? Work with me on this. Garage door. Another garage door. You'd be pretty pressed to back this thing into the garage if we could put it in there. And it's smaller than the Grand Cherokee. Now, with the space that's left, if I put the Jeep over here, I can't get the mower out. I can't go behind him. So the only place to park my vehicle now is way the hell over there. So guess what? I'm going to tune that guy in. Young feller. Theoretically, this is where I would like everybody to come in and park. Just pull in onto the side here. You can go into there. Well, you know, be mindful I got a mower that I got to get by. So anyway, when we come back, we'll just leave it right here. Oh, step 2. When the wife's been in it, fix the seat before you go piling in. And look at this. It's all tore already. What the hell is this? This ain't no friggin' cheap buggy wagon here. Alright. Got a mask handy just in case. Alright, let's get in. Okay, and hook you up. It's kind of like, here, I'll give you the time here. It's 8 minutes. 8 minutes past 7 Atlantic Standard Time. It's going to be dark here pretty quick. I'm not sure exactly when, but less than an hour. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over the hill for a little peeky-poo. You know what I could do? I could be a real dick about this parking there. I can park in front of his Jeep. He can't get out. And say, well, that's the same with my mower. I can't get out. When you do this to me, there's no room to get out. So I'll talk to him tonight. I'll put him on the spot. These damn dogs keep, well, Bear, I don't know. He's a magnet for this burdock. And that means I should be climbing over the hill here and seeing if I can find some more plants. After a while, you just get freaking tired of the burdocks. Here, let's clean the window up a bit. We'll slow right down here. Wipe-de-dee-doo. Alright. The grandson is just like, he's a pretty high energy kid. And I'm a low energy guy. They just kind of like, my atoms don't wiggle like his little atoms do. Wear me right out. Figured I had to lay down there after splitting wood. Just after my wife came home. The little guy just, you'd swear he's on rollerblades or something, the way he's running back and forth, back and forth. I had to fix up a baby gate system thing there, you know, like prison bars, just to keep him in the living room, to keep the the pounding in the hallways down. Steady. Now, chances are we might see something over the hill right now if we're just creeping along here. And this is one reason why I want to have grass all grown on it, just like lawn. I don't want it a gravel road to come down in here. I just want it nice and quiet, so no matter what vehicle you might be in, if you can keep the thing from revving up and making a lot of noise, you can just putt along down here. There's one thing I would like to get is, or explore, is into a different outdoor type camera, because there's clouds and stuff up there, and all I can see on the back of the screen of this thing is glare. You won't get the glare when I turn around and have the sun behind me, but these little GoPro type camera things, they leave a lot to be desired, we'll put it that way. Now this company that I'm using for these things, I bought the first one. The damn thing fell apart like real fast, and I guess I'm a little bit too big for this little camera. But anyway, and I posted this up on Amazon, and the company replied to me and said, geez, how can we fix this? And you pull your review off of there. Because I supplied pictures of the damaged parts, and I gave some suggestions and whatnot. And anyway, make a long story short, before that happened, after it broke, I bought another camera, because I do like to do the YouTube thing here. Anyway, the company wanted that down, so they sent me another camera. This is after I already bought the second one. So now I got 3 of these. One half broke, and then 2 extras. They work pretty good, more or less. And I mean, like, I'm not making fancy high production videos here, but this is 4K, 30 frames a second. That's just as fast as it'll go with image stabilization, I guess what it is. Now there's a bunch of different settings you could put this on, but I just want the video, just to make the video. I don't want to get into this razzle-dazzle stuff too much, you know. It would be nice to have somebody that had the time and knew what they were doing to do it for me, but I just say it ain't happening for me. Not likely. Oh, there's a big rock I gotta get the hell out of there. I should roll it across the road to the other side. Downhill, more or less. One of the boo-boos I made when just after we first moved in, I had a bulldozer come down here and try to really make the nice bulldoze road. Now, he didn't do too bad at all that, but I'd like to be able to have a guy come down here again that knows what he's doing, because there's a little edge on the side of the road. If he could get that off of there so that I could go up and down a little, like another path wider, this would look really nice down here. If I come down here with the mower and all the rocks are picked out, dug out of the road and that, I can just sail down here flat out on the mower and just zoom, zoom, and back. As it is, it takes me 4 runs. There's one on the side, one in the middle hump to the right, then same on the other side on the way back. So the way I do it is that I drive in, I do it in stages. So up to the beaver dam, the first beaver dam, then up to that landing where I had the camera a few days back, and then just back behind me, there's like I have these 4 or 5 sections, so I must put on 10 miles. Let's see, no, I can see one. I put on 4 miles on that mower, going back and forth up to keep this road up to shape. And I love it. Love every minute of it. I would like to have maybe an electric car or a cart or something where you with nice and quiet, you can turn down along in here and it doesn't make any whirring sound, or there's no thump of the pistons going up and down. That would probably be the most ideal way to do it. And then get some cameras and that set up and get them on some more anti-bounce stuff involved into it, I guess. But all you need to do is go about this fast. I'm just purring along. Let's see, how fast am I going here? Let's see, I figure it out. It's already registering. Let me see here. Oh, she's got it on a... Okay. It's okay. It's about 5 miles an hour, or 5 kilometers an hour. We're going to stop here real quick because it's got to go up this hill, and it probably doesn't have enough compression. It's only a 6-cylinder. Yeah, she just died. Now, I have had V8s in the past, 400 cubic inch, 440. That was a beast. Gasoline, incredibly expensive to drive that friggin' thing around. Same with those big pickup trucks from the past. This thing here is pretty good on it, but it's missing a box. You know, like a pickup box. And it would be nice to have 4 great big mud type tires, all-terrain tires, I would think. I'd have to see. I used to have a set of chains for my 4x4. Man, I'm telling you, you put chains on one of those big GMC 4x4s with posi track and that on it, that frickin' thing will go straight ahead into the woods and knocking trees down, banging over rocks. It's pretty impressive. And I did that with a camper on the back. This beat up old camper. Yeah, there's another rock right there that I need to flip out of the way, but I don't feel like it tonight. And there's another one there too. There's freaking always rocks. But if I could get some of those bigger rocks, like I was even thinking about picking some of them up and putting them in the wagon and driving them back to where the first beaver dam was, and seeing if I could fix up the culvert a little bit with the big rocks, like you know, like they do on the side of a highway. And then I started thinking, like, holy frig, man, you're doing enough heavy physical labor, like with the freaking logs and you know, cutting some of these trees and stuff down. Mind you, I still do it, but I actually need to really do it because I need to build the because of the beavers and the water rushing over the road. It went over right over top of where the culvert was, and it wore across, or wore the distance or the width a little less. It's still lots of room to get through there, but I would like to have it so it's nice and proper, like nice and wide. Like for bringing in a semi-truck, if you had to. Bring one down here. This is right where the moose was a week or so ago. My trail camera hasn't been doing all that great of late, but we moved it up to where what we refer to as the soldiers. It's a bunch of plantation trees that were grown, these red pine, and it's up at the end of where I'm logging. There's a bear crap in there that bear got into. So the bear had been going up there, but it didn't look very fresh to me. But we did see the bear at the end of the field here Monday. Today is Wednesday. So that bugger's around still. And there's a lot of bear poop around the neighborhood here. Where he's hanging out and what he's doing, I think he's just walking around, and I'm going to stay away from those trees, because if I had that big 4x4, I'd be just driving right on the very edge of this thing here and knocking it down, kind of like a bush hog. And I wouldn't care about getting the front end scratched up. To do it properly, you'd probably want something like 35-inch tires with a reasonable width. Oh, what's that? That's nothing. Oh, there's a little bird there. Looks like a robin or something. Right here, I thought of setting up a blind if I was to come down hunting down here. The only issue I have is hunting back towards this way, because I can control people behind us, but I can't control people coming to us from up the road unless it's blocked. Oh, that's an idea. You put a chain up or something. Put up a sign. But to just widen it out that little bit more would be so nice along here. So it's 7:24, and it's going to be dark here in probably 15-20 minutes, is my guess, or less. This is an actual ideal time to see any big game animals. It's usually they're coming from their bedding area that they were bedding in the day, and they're heading for water, and then they'll just go someplace and feed all night long, is my take on it. I had a GMC heavy half with a 400 cubic inch engine in it, 2 tanks, and it was a 4-speed on the floor. You threw that thing in low range and you had chains on it. It was like almost like a freaking tank. It was fun. So I got rid of that thing. Oh, jeez. Quite a few years ago. It was like a 1980 or something like that. They used to make some pretty nice trucks back in the day. Now they're all fancy things of convenience. There's no real you have to take it into somebody and get them to deck it out. They don't come from the factory like that with a heavy duty bumper, front and back, stuff like that, like we used to get off the floors in when I was buying trucks. I had a couple with stick shifts, but they are a freaking pain at times too. Icy hills in the city, and you got this great big freaking truck, and it might not have, they're not very sure-footed at times. They're okay in the bush, but they leave something to be desired, boy, I tell you, on ice. Mind you, if you could put studded tires on it, I've put the chains on it before. And those chains I had, they were for a logging truck. They had the V-bar on it, I think they called it. There's a V welded to it. Man, they grip. And if you get stuck and you floor it, is it ever chewed down into the ground to get something solid so you can get rolling again? Now, I tried the trail camera here. That was a bust. But there was one guy, I like what he did with his trail camera. He wanted to find when the beavers were coming back, so he went in there with waders, pounded a stake in there, and then put a game camera on it. And when they came back to fix the dam, he knew what time they were coming in, and they could count the different, I believe you could count how many were assisting in the repairs. And lo and behold, after 3 or 4 beavers, he was in the clear. Sadly, in a way, there's no more beavers here, but I don't miss them, but I did like the, I don't know how you'd call it, the adventure kind of a thing of unplugging the culvert and getting it flowing, coming down and seeing if you could pick one of them buggers off or not. But as it is, there isn't anymore. This is a nice little place down in here. I think those are great birch. All these ones here. We've got a couple that are going to come down on the road this winter here. It's no big deal. In the spring, I'll come back in here and I'll fix it for sure. There's another one right there that's going to come down. That's just snap. That's going to barbature if you just touch it with a saw. Now, it's those kinds of things that if you cut part way through some of the smaller stuff, if you're careful, you can get it to barbature. So it's still attached, but all the leaves fall to the ground. And the tree stays alive, except it kind of growing horizontally, and the animals can get at it to eat. Which is getting dark out now. I got the high beams on in here. Let's do a test and turn them off. Okay, and turn them totally off. I gotta put it back in automatic or my wife will friggin' think something's broken. You can't touch the buttons in the car. It's 17 degrees out now, too. It's a beautiful time of night, or evening, just before nightfall. You'll notice that I didn't drive over the tracks again because I don't want to turn this into a freaking mud pit down in here. I want it nice, looking nice and so you can come down here with the mower, you can come down here and walk if you feel fit enough, which is something that I need to get done. Work on some of my fitness. Here, let's just sit here. Pretty quiet except for the ringing in my ears. Now this is the bear and the turkey spend a lot of time down around this particular area for some reason. See quite a few white-tailed deer down here as well. And just up the road a little bit further, there's always ravens down here for some reason. Eating something, I don't know what, but there we go. All the lights are dimming out. I would like to make the fence bigger for the dogs, as well as get an access to the bottom from, like you could drive down into the bottom here, and then walk up and open up the gate and get in there. But that'll take some doing. You're going to have to hire somebody for that, because there's no way I'm going to pick up cement sidewalk blocks to put them underneath the gate to keep the dogs from digging out from underneath it. The storm will be 5 in January, and in all those years that, well, we've had this, so he'll be 5, so we've had this fence about 4 years. We put it up right after we got ice, because it was okay to let kind of Storm go for a run around here. He was all over the place. You could hear him barking at stuff half a mile behind us, past the beaver dam, or on the other side of the house, maybe a mile that way, a mile to the other way, down towards where the signpost is on the other side of the big hill here. He got himself around, but once we put the fence up and we made it access only for in the back here, and ice came, it was the very best. So that's why we decided we would get bear. It's big enough room for, 3-4 dogs. But the problem is all the dogs in the house, they sure could track in a lot of crap. And now it's like burdock season. So they'll be coming in with burdock steady, and Storm is not the guy you want to try to get the burdocks out of. Erica, our groomer, she's a miracle worker with Storm. She just has a way with animals and dogs, man. I'm telling you, she's a A1. That's in Fredericton at PetSmart if you've got a pet. Look for Erica. If I was going to get some other dogs, I think I wouldn't mind getting something. I don't mind the Borbals from South Africa. And then there's the Turkish dog. I would want a short-haired dog for sure this time. That way, if they go outside and they stay outside and it's freaking raining out, they'll come in quicker and they're easier to dry off without leaving a great big freaking, a super wet, hairy, long-haired dog into the house. Ice and Storm both end up getting more ice. Oh, here they're coming down the hill. They're more apt to get hot spots. And that's a nasty thing for a dog to have. Oh, there's the other one. I just come down here because I need some peace. Plus I can share it with you folks. Yeah, maybe 2 more dogs would look good up there. But it's too much in the house. Like when you gotta go to the bathroom, you might want to have one laying beside you, then you gotta get over him. He might be storming, and if it is storm, he might get snarly. Then Ice or Bear's got the freaking bathroom door jammed. You gotta step over them. At least Bear, for some reason, he'll kind of get up and roll out of the way so you can get by. Maybe Mom stepped on him. Who knows? And they're the 2 on the right-hand side. The one on the left will be Storm. And in general, they poop down the side of the hill here. There's not many droppings that we have to pick up on the upper section. Maybe 4 or 5 a week or something like that. Just enough to throw in like with those yellow plastic bags and send to the garbage dump. I don't know if there's any real good way of getting rid of that waste instead of throwing it out in the garbage. We don't do garbage very good in North America here, by the way. And we especially don't do it way in the hell out here very good. They'll take whatever I put out to the road there, but we try to minimize the amount of that by composting quite a bit of it. But the compost bin is in one of those plastic thing that's inside the fenced-in section. I don't want to leave it out because all the freaking critters get into it, and then that's going to be, it's just going to make a big freaking mess for me. I don't need that. I would like to be able to go to Crab Mountain and see if I can spot the house from over there. Now, I did that with my brother last summer, and Crab Mountain's like 25 kilometers away or something like that as the crow flies. I believe so. 15 or 25, I can't remember. Far enough that I can't spot the house from over there. And what I need to probably do is take a reciprocal compass bearing. Holy smoke, excuse me. No game coming here now. A bearing from the house to Crab Mountain, and then go to Crab Mountain and look at the reverse of it and see if I can spot the house. We put the spotting scope, which is 35 power up, and we couldn't see it. This thing here just blends into the trees like nothing. And the sun would have to hit it right so that you would be able to see the windows shining with the light in them. I see my street lights on. That comes on just before dark. And it's now 20 to 8. And this is when things start to get a little bit really active. If you're a big game hunter, this is probably in the next 5-10 minutes is when you're going to see probably or have your greatest chance of getting something. Unless, of course, the animals are moving. Now, right now, this is moose season. I seen, can't remember, it was yesterday maybe, when I was in the city with Storm. Yeah, I guess it was yesterday. A guy with a moose on the, driving it up to the DNR to get it weighed and checked. There's a deer. There's 2 of them. To the left. Right along the ridge, right along the tree line, there's 2 of them still. Right out in the field. How come I didn't even see them before? Okay, we'll just sit here. There's 3. Awesome. And I doubt it, you can see it. I can see the Storm is watching. Yeah, you won't be able to. sadly you probably won't be able to see in the camera here. And they're more than likely looking at me, wondering what the hell's he doing down here. He's always up at the house. There was something in the driveway yesterday that left a big smell because Storm had his nose right to the freaking ground as soon as I got him out the door there. He picked up on something. Yeah, that's... I always see that. Two does and a fawn. They're coming towards me here. We won't spook them. We won't scare them. You never know when you might have to get one because you need something to eat. So in the meantime, fatten up on the apples, boys. Well, actually, those are girls. And that's why it's better to take a buck. If you take a buck, there's more bucks around, and they can breed the does. But if you take a doe and then you just leave bucks, then you end up with no population. And the other deer must be up at the apple tree, because I can see there's one dog in straight center, and the other two I could hear barking, and I think they're off to the right-hand side. But that's it, folks. She's yeah, 17 minutes to 8. And she's dark. Of which I can't do anything about. They're going to take off. There's 3. Just like 3 little dogs. So there's Dorn barking away. And I doubt very much that you can see anything here. So on this note, good evening, folks. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.
That's all, folks.
I'll be back.